Morning, morning, guys. I had to share this with y'all while I'm having my tea and scarf time and my not so proper teacup. Anyways, I wanted to tell y'all that, I had to go get another can of the fire roasted tomatoes for my recipe I'm doing on my other channel today. So I go to the store, and there's like a sister store where they're actually the same store, but they sell different things and somewhat the same things. So I went through this one store and I purchased a product. Well, usually I get a discount on it when I give them my number, but for some reason it didn't go through. So I went to the main store and I went on and got my the fire roasted tomato stuff I needed. Anywho, while I was in there, I said, I wonder why that didn't go through. So I went and asked for a manager. Now, before y'all start thinking anything, I am not a Karen. And I wanted to make this obvious. I'm just genuinely curious. And I have been ever since I was young. So I went to the manager and I said, I told him what happened, that didn't get my discount. I thought maybe my number didn't go through or whatever. And then she's like, well, do you have your receipt? And I was like, of course. I said, I got to go out and get it and I'll bring it back in. So I go out and I get it, bring it back in. She goes to her office, whatever. The first thing she does, she calls the other store. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman was so nice to me at the other store. I told her, I said, she was really nice to me. I said, and I don't want her to thinking that I'm a Karen because I'm not here. And I even told this manager, I said, she was so nice to me. I said, this lady's going to think I'm a Karen. Long story short, it has something to do with their main corporate people. So I told her, I said, oh my gosh, I said, this lady is going to think I'm a Karen. I said, I think I'm going to go back over there and I'm going to sort it out because she called her, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go back over there. And what happens is I go in the store. I didn't go through the little thing where I went earlier. I got out of my car, went inside, and I told her, I said, I just want to come in here and clear the air because I come through here almost every single day. And I don't want you to think I was being a Karen. She's like, oh no, I don't think you're being a Karen, da 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 da. I was like, I just wanted to talk to the manager because you weren't able to tell me why it wasn't working for me to get my discount. And she's like, well, you're not the only one. I'm sure you're like the first person to come today. And she's like, but this lady over here, she's our manager for over here. I was like, well, if I'd have known you had a manager here, I would have talked to her about it. So anyways, I went through there and it was a whole ordeal. And I was like, I wasn't being a Karen. I just wanted to know because I was genuinely curious because I've been getting the same discount for over a year. Well, she's like, yeah, I know prices change and prices go up. I said, I understand prices change and go up. I said, but, I have my number for my discount. So anyways, I was talking to the manager and her at the same time. I was like, I'm just so sorry. I was like, I had to come clear the air because I didn't want to be coming through here and you be like, oh my God, there's that Karen. Because I'm not a Karen. I'm just a genuinely curious person. Hint, the name of my channel, Sure Curious, because I have always been curious and I like to get to the bottom of things. And I like mysteries too. When I read a book, I like to read mysterious books, or however you want to say it. And I like to watch like criminal shows and things like that. So I like to figure things out. I don't like to be dangling in the air. I like to know why something isn't this way. And if I don't find out, it kind of drives me crazy. I don't know why. I gotta know. I just gotta know all the time. Gotta know. It's got me in trouble throughout my life as a young person. I'm not young anymore, but I'm not old either. But as a young person, I mean, I've gotten scars literally from just being curious. I hear something or I see something. I'm like, what is that? What's going on? And I get up and check it out. Also, when I was living in a certain other place, we were getting robbed. And my husband slept all the way through it. And I'm like, hey, there's something going on. There's something going on. But I was actually scared to get up and check that time. And thank goodness, because if I had woke my husband up and he went out there and checked, or if I would have went out there and checked, there's no telling what would have happened. But we did get robbed. but I heard it and I was curious and I was thinking to myself, I bet we're getting robbed. So the next morning I get up, sure enough, we were robbed. And anyways, back to my story. When I was done talking to these ladies, the manager lady, she was laughing at me the whole time about, me saying I'm not being a Karen. I'm not being a Karen, because when you go to a place day in and day out, you don't want people thinking that you're trying to get them in trouble because, they're going to be doing this behind your back. So I was like, you know what? I got to clear it. Went in there, was having a good time. She's like, no, we don't take offense to things like that. We don't take offense to things like that. I was like, okay, well, I just didn't want to be driving through here and you'd be like, there goes that lady that tried to get me in trouble. There goes that Karen, because I'm not a Karen. By the end of the conversation, they realized I'm not a Karen, and I just wanted to clear the air. But before I walked out the door, here's the kicker. Before I walked out the door, I turned and looked at the ladies, and I said, well, y'all know I'm not a Karen, but I guarantee you won't never forget me. And they laughed their butts off about that, because they're not going to forget me. My husband and my oldest son, sometimes I think they worry about things because I've always been kind of like a penny pincher. I like to conserve my money. I find it smart, not to mention I was raised that way, to just, why spend your money on needless things? Or if, like if I go someplace and they owe me some money, my son makes the biggest kick out of this. He'll go, Mom, if it was 10 cents, you'd want your 10 cents. Honestly, maybe, I don't know. I doubt it. But if it happened, I don't know. I do know that if somebody gives me the wrong change, I'd like my correct change back. But I don't think I'm the only one. But what he says is that if it was 10 cents, I'd want my 10 cents back. So then I just look at him and said, you darn right I do. That's my 10 cents. So anyways, I just had to share my little Karen, not so Karen moments with you guys. And I hope y'all get a kick out of it. I wish I could play some music for y'all, but I can't. So anyways, I'm going to get started on my cooking thing here in a minute, after I finish my tea out of my not so proper teacup, and sit here and enjoy my fireplace because it's cold out today. Y'all have a good day. Bye.